Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of MagicReview.com. It's been a while. I think I skipped the entire month of October. If you look behind me at this beautiful Utah mountain range, the snow, I've been using that. Well, that's my window. Yes, I have a big window behind me. Now, I'm sure you've noticed I've been using that background for a while. And now that's really what it looks like outside right now. Finally, the snow has come. So, anyway, today we're looking at the book test that's associated with Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. This is by Scott Olgard and Luke Jonas. So this is what you get, these two things. And it is $110. It's a lot. And so first you get the book, just the novel that's been modified. I mean, the book is still readable from cover to cover, and the modifications will go unnoticed. But this book is heavily gimmicked. It allows you to do many different effects. First of all, it allows you to have them turn to any page in the book, so that literally any page, assuming there's, this page won't work, but this page works just fine. And then they will say, your claim is that you've memorized the book, okay? And so they'll say, I'm on page 41, and you will be able to say, oh yeah, I've memorized that, and the first line of page 41 is perhaps nearly a year later in the real month of October, and then continuing, you can continue on reading the line. That's one effect. Now I'm just reading it from the book. I don't have this stuff memorized. They could turn to another page, page 80. They'll tell you the page, and you could read the first line, and so on. The second effect is they select a page, if you know what I mean, and on that page, you're able to read the entire first paragraph, again, supposedly from memory. Well, it actually is from memory, but because the page was selected, then it's, there's a lot less that you have to memorize. So the first one where you read the line, that's called a line. The next one is called a paragraph. The last one is called a word, and it's literally turned to any page. And then you tell the spectator, add up the two digits there, so 6 plus 9 is 15. Go down to the 15th line and look for a big, long word to think of, and then you are able to tell them what that word is. You do not even have to know what page that they looked at. You just tell them to mentally do that math. Those are the three effects that are the main ones touted on the ad copy. The fourth effect is called MMRY, M-M-R-Y. I'm assuming it's short for memory. And the idea of that is the page is selected, and they are to look at the first paragraph of the selected page and to think of an object in that page or something they can tie to their childhood. And then you can either from there do the memory effect, which is basically describing their childhood memory. Or you could do a design dupe and draw the object they're thinking of. And then the last effect has left me for the moment. It's a page. It's the opposite of the first one. So you have them turn to any page and read the first line to you, and then you tell them what page number they're on. So those are the 6 effects, and I'm sure if you are clever, you can come up with more effects. Product quality. It's solid. I mean, the book is well made. It's just a paperback book. It's like the ad copy says, it's readable, examinable, all that stuff. The instructions are really, really, sorry about that sound when I said instructions a minute ago. Anyway, these instructions are very well written, and they're extremely detailed. They cover all the memory stuff you're going to need to work on and do. So there's some issues with the ad copy a little bit, and with the product quality, I guess we'll say. Even though I did tell you the product quality is good, it is, but there's one little thing we'll talk about in a minute. Ad copy. If you read through the ad copy, it describes the routine as like a three-phase routine, doing the a line trick first, and then the a paragraph trick next, and then the a word trick third. But it doesn't distinguish that in the ad copy. It doesn't say this is one effect, and it just is one block that kind of describes the whole thing as a routine. When the first section where they're talking about the effect that you'll learn is called a line, they say no force is used. That's true for that phase. Phase 2, phase 3, well, for phase 2, I should say, there is a force used. The one where you can recite the paragraph. Phase 3, it is any page, but it's not a force page. So, but it is still a force. There's still a force involved there. So I don't think that they were. And by the way, the only reason I'm saying force is because they said it in the ad copy. So I'm not. I mean, they already. If we're worried about some non-magician watching this video and going, "Hey, there's such a thing as a force," too bad. You guys brought it up in the ad copy, so I'm just going there. So just know that some of the effects you can do do require a force, whereas some of them don't. Second thing, in the a word effect, that is the one where I just want to make sure I'm getting this right here. So let me just verify. In fact, I'm going to check the written review here, make sure I got it right. Come on. Where are you? Here we go. This is exciting television right here, folks. That's not it. Sorry, guys. Come on. Jekyll and Hyde right there. Bam. Okay. So in a word, they say that you can have the spectator turn to any page, which is true. And then it says, and they can settle on a truly random word. If they would have said an apparently random word, I would buy that. But a truly random word, when it's worded that way, it tells me they're trying to communicate to us, the potential buyer, that the word truly is random, when it's absolutely not. Number one, whatever page, now the page is free, total free choice. But once you get to the page, wrong book, once you get to the page, you have to tell the spectator, add those digits together, whatever page you're on. So a plus 3 is 11. Go down to the 11th line, read it, and then find a word in there that's big and bold and stands out to you. Those are very specific instructions. And already, as you can see, any given line's only got about 6 or 7 words on it. So you're narrowing it down by your directions to the customer, to the spectator, to only 7 words on that page. And even then, you tell them to find a big long word. And in this particular case, it just so happens that there are only 2 words on the line that they'll end up at. And so there's only 2 words. One of them's obviously the word that they're going to choose. So it's not a truly random word. So and again, I don't know that they're like lying there. I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt here. But there's one more thing that, let me see if I can find it here. Oh, in the first part where you have them turn to any page and they tell you the page number, they conveniently left out the fact, in the ad copy, they conveniently left out the fact that the spectator has to tell you the page number. They just said to have them turn to any page, and without fishing, you're able to tell them the first line of the page. Well, that's true, but without fishing certainly implies that you don't have to get any information from them. And you do. You have to get the page number. Now, you don't have to fish to get the page number. You just say, hey, what page did you turn to? And so when you get technical, yeah, there's no fishing. But I could see how reading that you might think, well, wow, that's pretty credible. I don't have to get any information from them, and I can tell them what the first line is, and that every line on the first line of every page is different, and I don't have to ask them any information or fish or anything. You do have to know the page number. So, again, I'm not saying they were lying. I'm just saying here's some clarity on what you're going to read there. And then, so then they have some bullet points in the ad copy that one says it's fully examinable, it's readable cover to cover, it's a book that people will recognize. Yeah, all that's true. No fishing peaks, glimpses, stooges, or sleight of hand. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt again that that's all true. Just the peaks and the glimpses thing. Yeah, you'll never need to like do one of these numbers where you're holding the book and you're like peeking at something. They hold the book the whole time. You give them the book and they do all the page flipping and looking and turning to selected pages and so forth. So you don't have to peek in that sense, but certain routines require you to know where in the book they're, like roughly, like this is in the beginning, this is somewhere in the middle, and this is near the end. And so you do have to kind of get a glimpse of where they are holding the page, not what page it is or the page number, but just roughly where in the book they're at. And so is that a peek or a glimpse? I don't know. I'll leave that to your discretion. This is the biggest one, though, guys. No complicated memory work. I'm sorry, but even if we're to argue the definition of complicated memory work, I think I would win this argument. You have to learn a memory peg system, which you may already know one, but they use a specific one, which may or may not be the one you already know. Let's just assume that magically it happens to be the same memory peg. All a memory peg thing is that you associate a number, the numbers 1 through 9 or 0 through 9, with a letter, a particular letter. And what that association is depends on the memory system. One of them associates the letter 3, the number 3 with the letter M, because the 3 looks like an M if you turn it sideways. And so there's little tricks to help you remember which letter goes with which number. Then you convert that sound or that letter into a word. And so, like, for example, the word for the M, you just add vowels in there to give it a sound. And so they use the word hammer, which is, that's got the M sound, and the H and the A are all kind of vowelish sounds, and so they don't count. And so you're thinking of the M sound as hammer. That's the word that's associated with the number 3. So you got to memorize that pairing. If you're familiar with memory work, you're like, well, this isn't too bad. If you're not familiar with memory work, this is already sounding probably too complicated. But anyway, so you memorize that pairing. And secondly, you have to then memorize another word that's just related to the page number you're on. And there's some ways they made it to where it's easier to memorize than you might think, but it's 50 words that you have to memorize, plus the linking words that I just mentioned. And then there's the one thing that's weird about their particular memory peg. For the number, was it 6? Yeah, for the number 6, the letters that they associate with the number 6 are B and P, as in Bravo and Papa. But the linking word that they tie to that is the word day, D-A-Y. There's no B or P in there. So I don't know where they came up with the word day to go to that. They should have used pay or bay or babe or bap. I don't know what, but not day. That makes no sense. So that's a little kooky. But that aside, you can see there's some intricate stuff going on here. So you got to memorize 50 words, 50, and also 50 linking keywords with your memory peg links. At least 50. There might be more. I'd have to go back and look. And then on top of that, you have to memorize the full line of each page, which is, and if I'm not mistaken, I'm going to double check right now, but that's more than 50. I think it is. No, it's just 50, I guess. I'm going to verify that right now by. So hang on, I'm going to double check something right now. Sorry, this is like an on-the-fly review here. Just want to see if I'm looking at this correctly. Okay, so page 51. And now I'm looking, this is the book, now I'm looking at the instructions. And okay, yeah. So you have to memorize 50 lines. Just 50 lines. Just 50 lines, that's a lot of lines. Along with the 2 sets of keyword pairings, so that's another 100 things. So we're talking 150 things right there. Now, those keyword pairings that you're learning help you learn that line, but that's a lot of stuff there. Then on top of that, you got 3 full paragraphs. They're short paragraphs, but they're 3 paragraphs that you have to memorize. So there's a lot of stuff. It's doable. It's the type of stuff that mentalists do all the time. This isn't anything that's out of the ordinary, but I would certainly not consider it to be not complicated memory work or no complicated memory work. So that aside, all the other ad copy claims are true. As far as the product quality, I mentioned the product, the DVD, or not DVD, there's no DVD. The book is well made. The instructions are good. But one of the things is they say that you don't have to worry about memorizing anything for page 9 because it's blank. That's page 9, folks. It ain't blank. All right? And so if when you're doing the align trick, somebody picks page 9, trick doesn't work. So you're going to have to somehow, through your verbiage, get them to pick something other than page 9. Also, the a word trick does not work either. The one where you have them out of the digits and go down to a line, that doesn't work if they turn to page 9 or page 10. On both page 9 and page 10, you cannot do that trick, even though page 10 clearly is full of words as well. So that's, I wouldn't call that an ad copy lie. I call it a product quality mistake. So I think that's about it. Everything else that I may have missed will be in the written review. This, with those things, there's no way I can give it a 5 or 4.5 star. The problem is that 4 seems kind of high, but 3.5 seemed too low. This is like the perfect scenario for a 3.75 rating, but I don't do those. I'd have to go back and rethink all my reviews if I decided to start doing quarter stars. So I went with giving them the benefit of the doubt and giving them 4 stars, stone status of gem. I do think this is a solid product, and I'm assuming that if you're into this kind of thing, you'll like the effect as I described it. But there's a lot of memory work, and there are some mistakes that you're going to have to deal with and overcome. So, with that said, it is time for you to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and listen to the random iTunes song of the moment, which just happens to be... Oh, it's not coming on. Come on, brother. There we go. It was on the screen, but it wasn't playing. It's the old 70s song called Just the Two of Us, but this is Will Smith redid it with, I believe it's his actual son in the song. Is it Jaden Smith, I think? Either way, though, he did a revamping of the lyrics of the song Just the Two of Us. It's really cool, and you'll dig it. He actually made a book out of it, where the book is just a picture book with the lyrics of the song in it. So anyway, it's really cool. Just the Two of Us. That's it for this one, folks. Tune in next time, which actually is tomorrow, whatever day you're watching this. I have no idea, but assuming you watch these when they come out, tomorrow I'll be doing an unboxing. It's a short one, and then we'll be back in the flow of reviews after the unboxing. So, thanks for watching this super long video, folks. We'll see you later. Peace out.